Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we have one member of the board, Alderwoman Taddeo, participating remotely tonight. What the statute says is that when that happens, we'll have a roll call vote if there is not a unanimous vote. So we can do a voice vote, but then if it's not unanimous, the clerk will do a roll call vote, just making sure everybody understands. So the first order of business is additions and deletions to the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions? We can move the executive sessions to the end without a motion. Attorney LaChance.
Yes, just a request that the executive session for the police collective bargaining agreement go last, just because that will be the longest discussion. So folks that don't need to be here can leave before then.
That works. All right, seeing nothing further, we'll move on to amendment and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
This is the February 18th meeting, so we have a motion. It's been seconded. Any additions, corrections to the minutes from February 18th? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And there are revised minutes from January 21st, 2025 in your packet. Can I get a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion about those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now we'll move on to public comment, where members of the public are invited to address the board on matters not on the agenda. I will say that PEG TV is broadcasting this live, both for members of the public and members of the board who are here. No calls to action or anything about voting for particular candidates tomorrow for town meeting day. PEG TV has to maintain fairness and doesn't want to impact the elections. That's why historically they have not broadcast this live, but they said there's significant demand from the public to have these meetings live, so they wanted to extend that opportunity and assume that we'd all be on our best behavior. All right, are there any members of the public who wish to address the board? Yes, step right up and just state your name for the minutes. Welcome.
My name is James Henry. My address is 1 Northeast Drive, Rutland, Vermont. I recently had a traffic complaint and was invited to the traffic safety meeting on February 14th. My complaint is about the lane merger on Route 7 heading north and is filed with those meeting minutes. I personally felt that the city is lacking some signs that could help with traffic in the new pattern, possibly some small adjustments to the road paint. I felt like we had a great conversation. They immediately recognized my issue and presented the proposal to fix the issue. I thought these guys are on top of this. After the meeting, I discussed my feelings with a few members of the community, and my feelings felt verified. These are facts and not opinions. Since the new road configuration has been in place, the city has known about the issue and has not done anything to improve the situation. The city has requested V-Trans to come fix, but V-Trans only has one contractor painting lines. I was told in the traffic safety meeting that V-Trans was planning to remedy the situation once weather allows. In the meantime, do we just wait for an unfortunate and preventable accident? My question is, why has the city not stepped in and placed some kind of temporary signage in place? All I got.
Okay, thank you. Alderman McCann?
Yeah, just a comment. Thanks for coming and bringing this up. If Ted hasn't found a solution yet, I'm hoping he's still working on it. So I was at that meeting and we did attempt to discuss some opportunities for short or near-term kind of temporary fixes that would try to improve awareness of drivers kind of going north and south, or particularly north, that wouldn't require waiting for V-Trans to come back. But I know that the city engineer was going to look into that and try to find some solutions. I don't know where they've been able to get, but between frozen ground and requirements from the state, I think he was trying to juggle what could be done in the near term that would be effective, and hopefully we find something before there is a crash. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello everyone, Jamie McCullough, 5 Hill Pond Road in Rutland City. Just a couple quick questions. Upon walking in, I noticed that the windows were partially taped off. Is that for any valid reason? And the other question is, why is the city clerk's office closed tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
What are you talking about the tape on the windows in the clerk's
Yes.
office?
Yeah.
We're closed tomorrow.
You are closed tomorrow, and what is the reason for that?
It's election day.
That's a normal thing?
Yes, we did it all last year.
All last year? Okay, great, thank you.
Any additional members of the public who wish to address the board on matters not on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to communications from the mayor. Mayor Dunges.
Good evening. Tomorrow morning, the polls open at 7 a.m. It's election day. Get out and vote. That's it. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Next up is consideration of special event permit requests. We have an application for Spring Sprockets and Walkets for May 3rd. It's on page 1 to 2 of your packet.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll move for the approval for May 3rd, Spring Sprockets and Walkets, a bike and walking event through Pine Hill Park.
Second.
All right, Alderwoman McClure.
Is there anyone present this evening to speak on this event permit?
I don't know. I see none.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on the permit for Spring Sprockets and Walkets? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have an application for the Whoopie Pie Festival for September 13th. This is on pages 3 to 4 of your packet, and there are definitely some folks here to speak to that one.
Thank you. Lyle Jepson, Executive Director of the Chamber of Economic Development, here with Crispin White, our Events and Membership Manager, and I'm sensing we need to do this very quickly, maybe as fast as the mayor was.
That was quick.
So we wanted to come and just talk about the Whoopie Pie Festival. Crispin has that well in hand. This is the 4th year for that. We've appreciated the city's support, and the fact that about 7,500 people came out last year, and we hope that that will happen all over again for the city of Rutland. So, Crispin.
Excellent. Just want to share some information prior to talking about the permit for the Whoopie Pie Festival. Wanted to just, if I'm able, just hand out some information about our upcoming events throughout the rest of the year for the Chamber and Economic Development of the Rutland region, just so you're all informed of some of the things that we're doing in the community to not only provide great events, but to also help with some of the entrepreneurial efforts that are going on throughout the city. But just to give you an idea, we are excited again to have our 4th annual Whoopie Pie Festival on Saturday, September 13th. Last year, as Lyle said, we had over 7,500 people attend, and they were able to witness a 1,187-pound whoopie pie be created and weighed. It was absolutely amazing, and it's something that luckily we did last year because unfortunately, Dreammaker Bakers is no longer in business, and she decided that before the event that she wanted to go for the record. And so she accomplished that. Her and her staff did an incredible job. So this year we're looking to make it even bigger and better. We don't need to go for a record this year, but we're still going to create an opportunity to have a wonderful event that will not only benefit the city of Rutland, but Rutland County, the entire state of Vermont, and beyond, because we had people coming in from out of state as well to experience this great event. So that's it in a nutshell. Are there any questions about the event?
Alderman McCann.
I'm wondering if, in thinking about a record and the difficulty of making the next biggest whoopie pie, if we could pivot to a different record, which would be the largest number of people simultaneously eating whoopie pies. So you have to organize some big crowd all up and down Center Street, and when the horn goes, everybody takes a bite.
In 2023, there was a record up in Maine where it was over 2,000 whoopie pies. They had it on a table. We were talking in the office today about having people line up and down from West Street, Merchants Row, all the way to Washington Street, whoopie pie in each hand to try to get close to 2,500. So that's I
like that.
We're not confirming that, but
All right.
it's in the thought process, definitely. But looking for ideas like that, I mean, we want to continue to make this a wonderful event for the city of Rutland. And there has been a call for some whoopie pie eating contests. Those are in the back of my mind as well. But we want to make sure that, again, this is just a wonderful event for people to come out and enjoy. and it was a great opportunity for families to come down and really experience it. It's ideal to have it in conjunction with the farmers market as well. I mean, it just brings so much energy to downtown Rutland.
Any additional questions from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of the special event application for the Whoopie Pie Festival?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Not sure
passes.
we suspended the rules.
We didn't suspend
Thought
it.
someone did suspend the rules.
No.
All right, I guess we didn't.
Second.
All right, motion to suspend the rules has been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Move to accept the Whoopie Pie Festival on September the 13th.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve and it's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
What'd you say, Anna? We didn't catch it.
Next up is reports and letters from department heads and officials. First up is Superintendent Peters with a request to approve signing of a contract with Global Action Sports Solutions for the trail remediation project at Pine Hill Park. This is on pages 5 to 17 of your packet.
So this grant has been approved, and we were accepted to remediate some Pine Hill, and sent the contract to Megan and Kat, and that's what's in your packet. So just for the approval to sign the contract.
Motion to suspend the rules and take the matter up tonight?
Second.
All right, we have a motion to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And then was it a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the contract?
Yeah, we'll do that. Mhm.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign a contract. Any discussion? Alderwoman Davis?
And it's a grant that you said, Kim,
Yeah,
that's paying the
for-
4,800?
Correct.
48,000?
Yeah, the grants were 49,000. I think the contracts were 48,500.
Okay, great, thank you.
Alderman McCann?
And was there a match component?
No match on this. Yep. Yep.
All right, so the motion is to authorize the mayor to sign the contract. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next up is Planning Director Bove with a request to adopt the FY25 municipal resolution for municipal planning grants.
This is for the municipal planning grant that we were applying for. There is a resolution that has to be signed by the board in order to apply. Again, we are going for support, data mapping, other help with the municipal plan, with the Act 250 Tier 1A exemption we're going to be applying for, and the designation program updates. So we'll be applying for about $19,800. There is a 10% match on that as well.
Move to suspend the rules, take the matter up.
All right, we have a motion to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Move to circulate for signatures of the
Second.
resolution.
All right, so we have a motion to adopt and circulate the municipal resolution for municipal planning grant. It's been seconded. Any discussion? Alderman McCann.
So you said there was a 10% match. Is that something we've got planned funding somewhere?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so, yes. It's about,
We have
18.
ARPA funds for matching, don't we, for grants, I assume, yeah.
It'd be like a $1,800 match.
Okay.
Do we need to refer this to committee so that we can address that funding?
I'll move to refer to finance.
Second.
The issue of the match,
The
correct?
issue of the 10%.
After we vote on the resolution.
I'm sorry, yes.
Great. So right now, we're voting on circulating for signatures the resolution. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll move to refer to Finance Committee, the 10% match for the municipal resolution for municipal planning grant.
I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion to refer this to the Finance Committee. Any discussion? Alderman Gillum.
This will not hold up the paperwork, correct?
It won't.
Okay.
And there's also a chance the match could be waived down the road
Right.
if we complete the deliverables, so.
Good.
Just knowing that.
All those in favor of the referral?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next up is Human Resources Director Coyle with an update on staffing. You can just give it to Sharon.
Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Last time I spoke to everybody was September 16th, so it was nearly 16 months ago, and I said that I was assessing what needs to be done while trying to determine a strategy for succession planning and retaining institutional knowledge into the future. In September, I told everyone that we had 155 full-time positions, and we were recruiting at that time for 4 positions, included in Public Works and also in the City Attorney's Office. Wastewater treatment plant, we were looking for an engineering tech and an associate engineer. I'm happy to report that we have filled both of those positions after recruiting for over a year. We had a Christmas present, and that was someone who moved here from California, who actually is a certified professional engineer. He started with us, 2 weeks ago, Mike? So we are quite fortunate and very happy to have him on board. And we're still trying to fill one position within the wastewater treatment plant at this point. We've done some shifting and moving people around, and we are hoping that we will find that 3rd shift position, and then we'll be able to move a staff member down into a 2nd shift position. We've also paused the recruiting at this point for the admin assistant, for the city attorney, the mayor's office, and HR until after things settle down and elections are done. Then we'll start resuming that search again. We are beginning the search right now for a business manager for the Department of Public Works. That position is posted on the website. We do have a retirement that's going to be happening at the end of April, so now is the time to start looking for that. In addition, we're going to be looking for an assistant business manager for the Department of Public Works. That will be posted after we've filled the business manager's position. We have 2 known retirements that the city treasurer is working with right now. Those will be happening shortly. Once those have formalized the date that they will be separating from the city, then we'll be able to start posting and recruiting for those as well. So there is a lot of recruiting going on. If you recall, in September I said we had about 25% of our workforce who was going to be able to leave in the next 4 years. That's starting to happen. Folks are starting to pick up their speed. One of the things I wanted to sort of bring forward for everybody, next week actually is the anniversary of the world shutting down for the pandemic in it was March 15th of 2020. And I thought it'd be interesting to share a little bit of data with everyone here so that you have some idea of what we've been doing in those 5 years. Since that day, we've hired 73 people to come to work for the city. This doesn't include the seasonal workers who are in Parks and Rec or the seasonal folks that we hire for the DPW over the summer. We've separated 90 people during that same time period. So we're in a deficit. You can kind of see that. Some of the separations were due to retirements, some were due to elections and folks not being reappointed or folks being replaced by someone else who was elected in their place. Some of the reasons people have left were personal, job changes, or they've moved out of the area. So it's a mixed bag of that, those 90 people. Breakdown on some of the following, basically building and zoning, we lost 3 people during that time period. We replaced with 3 people during that time period. Executive branch, we lost 2 people. We replaced with 2 people. Treasurer's office, we lost 3. We replaced with 3. Clerk's office, we lost 1, replaced with 1. We just moved people around internally. The assessor, we've added 1 part-time position that was budgeted for during the last cycle. HR, we lost 1, we replaced 1. So pretty much we've been doing net on most of them. Legal, we lost 2 positions, but we replaced with 1.5. We've had the great good fortune to have a part-time person with us who has accepted a full-time position and will be moving on shortly. So then we'll be back down to 1 person in legal. PD, lost 28, hired 28. Fire department lost 8, hired 8. Public Works lost 35, we've hired 18. That's where a lot of the deficit is falling in. And then Parks and Recreation, we lost 4 but hired 6. We created 2 new positions that were filled in the time that I have been here. So I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. We are playing catch up. It is difficult. We still do need to have a full recruiting strategy. We truly don't have that yet. We still need the board's support If it's its existing board, that's great. If it's a new board, still need that support to have something happen. So just wanted to be sure that folks had that in mind. The other part of this with the staffing, in addition, we have 2 employees, or who are full-time employees, who are out on extended military leave of 5 months or more. So those are positions that are not filled right now, because there's not someone actively here to be able to fill those. We have 3 people who are out on extensive long-term workers' compensation, and we have 1 person who's out on an extensive long-term family leave. So in addition to the deficit in staffing that we have, we're missing 6 full-time people for a variety of reasons right now. So again, you need to be kind of looking at these. We have to be really sure that we are sensitive to some of the pressures that are on some of our departments as well, for a variety of very good reasons. We are actively recruiting. We are going to be at the Vermont State Colleges at Randolph in the next couple of weeks for a recruiting session there. We're going to be at Rutland High School, Fairhaven Union High School, Department of Labor Job Fair. And the other thing that, I just lost his name, Crispin did not talk about was Bring Back the Trades that's going to be happening at Castleton University in May. I am pushing very hard for us to be a very active participant in that. I think that it's very important for us to have a presence, to be out there, have some positive recruiting energy going on. So those are some things that are in the works and are hopefully bubbling up to the surface right now that we are looking to do to continue to really staff up well for the city so that we can meet all demands of the citizens of the city. Questions, concerns? I'm not asking for anything.
Any questions for Director Coyle from the board? Alderman Gillum?
Just one question. She just went through a whole report here. Can we have that report added to the minutes of the meeting? So if the general public wants that information, it's there.
I'm sure that we can.
Provide that, Bill, of course. Of course.
Do you need a motion?
No. Okay. She can just submit it to the clerk, and the clerk will add it, and we'll approve it at the next meeting.
No questions? The hot seat. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Up next is Attorney LaChance with a sculpture agreement with Trinity Episcopal Church and the Carving Studio and Sculpture Center. This is on pages 21 to 26.
Thanks, everyone. So as included in the packet, this is an agreement that we've been working on in conjunction with Trinity Episcopal Church and the Carving Studio over the last several months, so that a sculpture can be placed on their property as part of the sculpture trail. Bit of coordination. Usually these sculptures are placed on city-owned property, but the church was very interested in being able to host it and graciously allowed us to use the space. And so this contract just details out what the responsibilities of both sides are on that and everything. So fairly straightforward, just putting it on someone else's property.
Alderwoman Davis.
But we will have to insure it.
Correct.
So what are we required? What's the request before
So
us?
the request for this is just to authorize the mayor to sign the contract on behalf of the city, allowing the sculpture to be placed on the lawn of Trinity Episcopal
To
Church.
suspend the rules.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Sorry.
Great.
And I'll move to authorize the mayor to sign the sculpture agreement with Trinity Episcopal Church.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign this agreement. Any discussion or debate on the motion? Alderman Gillum.
Just so people know where this is going to be, it looks like it's going to be on Route 4, West Street and Church Street on the corner there, on their lawn. It's not on city property, so just so everybody knows.
Very good.
If I may also, Mr. Chairman, because we voted on it, is refer this to general committee, not this particular agreement, but we have a number of sculptures that are within the city, and I think we should check to see what the cost is for this insurance that taxpayers are bearing, because the requests are not coming to us, and they really should, because we authorize the use of city sidewalks. So if I could just refer the issue of sculptures on city property to the general committee.
After we vote on the motion for,
I thought we did vote, I'm sorry.
I think we
Did we?
just suspended the
Okay,
rules.
sorry, my apologies.
No worries. So the motion on the floor currently is to authorize the mayor to sign this sculpture agreement. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And Alderwoman Davis?
Just refer to general committee the issues of sculptures on city property in relation to the insurance cost.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to refer sculptures on city property and the insurance costs to the general committee. Any discussion on the referral? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Next up, reports of standing committees. We have Alderman Whitcomb with a Finance Committee report from February 24th.
All right, thank you, Chair Talbot. So on February 24th, 2024, the Finance Committee met to discuss 3 items. The first was the JCI contract discussion. The second was review of the fund formerly known as ARPA. And third was review of city financials ending December 31st, 2024. Committee members present were myself as the chair, Alderman Davis as the vice chair, Alderman Savage, Alderman Barbagallo, and Alderman Adams. Others present were President Talbot, Mayor Dunges, Alderman Gillum, Alderman Heck, Treasurer Markowski, Recreation Director Kim Peters, Tyler Dolan, Zoning Administrator Ed Bove, DPW Commissioner Bob Porovansky, Attorney LaChance, and Ted Gillen. We called the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. The committee began by discussing the JCI contract. The mayor provided a summary of events following the city's unsuccessful MERP grant application and the subsequent pause in financing. Alderwoman Davis inquired about the contract's opt-out clause. Both the mayor and the city attorney confirmed the existence of an opt-out clause and further stated that the project scope could be amended. Alderman Davis then asked about the financial implications of opting out. While a precise figure was not provided, it was stated the city would be liable for the value of services rendered by JCI up to that point. City Attorney LaChance clarified that even with the signed letter of intent, the opt-out clause remained valid. It was further clarified that any amended scope of work would be presented to the board for approval before proceeding. No formal action was taken, and this item was retained in committee. Next, the committee addressed the remaining fund balance in the account formerly known as ARPA. Treasurer Markowski distributed a handout detailing board member approved special projects funded from this surplus. See attached. I apologize, the attached isn't there. It might be in the actual packet itself, I don't know. If not, I'll provide it, but this was a spreadsheet of all of the things that we have assigned ARPA funds to so far. The current balance of this is $61,653 remains in the fund. The committee then discussed the approved funding allocations, their current status, and the unutilized portions of those allocations, noting potential future requests against the remaining balance. Recreation Director Peters indicated that the Recreation Department would seek an additional $40,000 to complete the Main Street Park project, specifically the gazebo. DPW Commissioner Portovansky noted a pending request from Public Works to address water meters. Ed Bove clarified that the initial allocation of the TIF project covered the establishment of the TIF district itself. The remaining funds are designated for Phase 2 costs. No formal action was taken, and the item was retained in committee. The committee then proceeded to review the city's financial reports for the period ending December 31st, 2024. Treasurer Markowski presented an overview of the city's finances with particular emphasis on the restricted fund balances maintained during the first 6 months of the fiscal year. This item was presented for informational purposes only, and no formal action was taken. The meeting adjourned at 6:12 p.m.
Thank you, Alderman Whitcomb. Next up is Alderman Gillum with a Public Works Committee report from February 26th.
Public Works Committee met February 26, 2025. Committee members present were Barbagallo, Gillum, Heck, McCain. Did I say that right?
No. But why start now, Bill?
Why start? Other members present were President Talbot and Davis, City Treasurer, City Engineer, Commissioner, Public Works Commissioner, Water Department Director, our new City Associate Engineer, Whoopie, and I'm not going to kill that last name, so you need to tell me how to pronounce his last name. Stephenson. Thank you. Anyway, thank you. Mayor Dunges and Gordon from the Rutland Herald. The meeting started at 5:30. First of all, we welcome the new Assistant Associate Engineer, Whoopie, to the committee, and we welcome him aboard, and hopefully he will help the department, because we're at a very busy time right now, so he came in at the right time. So the issues are the Water Department lead service line inventory, a summary of Phase 1 of the investigation, record review of the field observance completed. The cost implemented on phase 2, the loan forgiveness that is currently available through the revolving loan fund part of the EPA process. Those 3 issues are still in committee, but the engineer updated us on the inventory and where we are. We do not have all the information, and I passed out, or I sent out in the email, all the handouts and all the information, what it's going to cost and what we have to deal with. We have roughly around 3,000 households that have not been communicated with, or we haven't got their information. The department is going to have a process, get the information out by internet or through a process to get people to comply, so we can bring that number down, so it's not going to cost us a lot of money to get that information and start digging up front lawns to get that information. The loan application is right now based on the estimate at $7 million, and that's why it's still staying in committee, and no action was taken because we need to work through this. It looks like it's going to take us a little while to work through that. So that whole process is now in committee. Second item, traffic study for Center and Wales Street. Alderman Barbagallo memoed on the proposal for traffic changes in downtown Center Street, Willow, Wales, and West Street and Merchants Row. The discussion was on how to handle the road closing and traffic pattern during the construction process of the new hotel. Future ideas for traffic circle on Merchants Row and Evelyn and Center. The issue was sent to the engineers to review and come up with some advisements for the committee and the next meeting when we have one on that issue, and consider adding this to some of the downtown traffic studies and design ideas. The issue remains in committee. No action was taken. The meeting was adjourned 6:25.
Alderman Adams.
I just wanted to note and add to this that the assistant city engineer was very specific in noting that this is a federal requirement, and he and we as a city are doing everything we can to find all funding opportunities possible to avoid any undue burden on the taxpayer. Unfortunately, these sorts of things do come down from the state and federal levels. It's out of our control, but I did want the taxpayers to know that we're doing everything we can.
Very good. Thank you, Alderman Adams, and thank you, Alderman Gillum.
That's the reason why it's still in committee, because we need to flush this out a little bit more.
Great. Reports of select committees, we have none. Reports of representatives, we have none. Petitions, letters, miscellaneous communications, I believe we have none. Board of Control Commissioners, there's nothing on the agenda. Board of Cannabis Commissioners, we have a retailer's renewal request for the gas station. This is on page 27 of your packet. I'd entertain a motion to go into the Board of Cannabis Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Any
opposed? Motion passes. We're in the Board of Cannabis Commissioners. What is the board's pleasure? The application, the renewal application is on page 27.
Vote for the approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve. It's been seconded. Any discussion on the motion to approve the renewal? Alderwoman McClure.
Is the applicant here tonight to speak on the renewal permit?
I believe so. If you'd like to step to the podium. Welcome.
Hi, I'm JD Sharp, one of the owners. Usually my wife comes, but I'm on duty tonight.
Lovely, lovely. I just wanted to take a moment of your time before we approve this and ask about how your experience operating in Rutland has been. As far as I'm aware, this is your second renewal with the city, correct?
It's been great. I mean, it's been overwhelming support from the town. Obviously, the board has been incredibly supportive as well. I have nothing to complain about. Everything has been really great.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Gillum.
And people need to know that this is on Main Street. It's not near any neighborhood. That's why I'm going to approve this, because it does not affect the neighborhoods.
Very good. So we have a motion to approve the renewal. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Can I get a motion to go out of the Board of Cannabis
So
Commissioners?
moved.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. That takes us to unfinished business. Any unfinished business? Alderman Barbagallo.
As this is my last meeting, I just wanted to say thank you to this board. It's been a pleasure and an honor to serve with all of you. We may not have always agreed on everything, but we've always been civil and everybody has been supportive to listen to each other's position and to try and move this city forward. And I appreciate all that. And I hope to wish you all good luck tomorrow in the election, and hope that I'll still be able to bother you from outside the rail from once in a while. So thank you.
Thank
For your service, Joe. Thank you, Alderman Barbadillo.
As Chair of the Public Works Committee, my Vice Chair is leaving me. All that talent is also going out the door. And I'm feeling pretty bad about that. And it's been a pleasure to serve with you as one of the senior members here. We thank you very much for your service to the city of Rutland. You and I have not agreed on every issue, but we do know how to work together and get some stuff done. So you were always there when I needed you for the committee work, and you've done your homework. You always have your homework when you come in. So it's a pleasure to serve with you. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, miscellaneous motions, resolutions, new business. Alderman McCann.
As we've been going through this election cycle and thinking about campaign finance reporting, I know the city has its own individual requirement for candidates to report with the city clerk 10 days after the election. And we also have requirements with the state to file a number of times ahead of the election and after, I believe. And when we file with the state, it's all available online ahead of time, so it's more available for public scrutiny and people keeping up on where campaign finance contributions are coming from. I think to simplify things, I'd suggest that we consider adjusting whether it's the charter or the ordinance, wherever it defines our reporting, and align that to say that the candidates should basically meet the requirements of the state reporting, which can be checked on by the city clerk pretty easily. They can just go online, see if they've met it, and use that as our city reporting as well, rather than having two parallel and separate efforts for campaign finance reporting. So I'd make a motion that we send that to Charter and Ordinance to consider cleaning that up.
Second.
All right, so we have a referral to Charter and Ordinance to better coordinate state and local campaign finance reporting. Any discussion on the referral? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Any further miscellaneous motions, resolutions, or new business? If not, that brings Alderman Heck.
Just have a quick question. I've been getting a couple questions here from constituents with the clerk's office and the paper being done, and I just wanted to see if Tracy can confirm. Absentee ballots, outer envelope may have been opened. The inner envelope is still intact?
Yes.
As far as that goes, so nothing has been opened on the inner envelope. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Brings us to our executive sessions. The first executive session is the Rutland Regional Airport and Rutland Fire Department. Attorney LaChance, do you want to read those motions?
Yep, I can go ahead with that. So I would entertain a motion to find that general public knowledge regarding the negotiation of a contract, specifically relating to a contract between the city fire department and the Rutland Regional Airport, would clearly place the city at a substantial disadvantage because the discussion will divulge the board's position on the contract provisions to be negotiated.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Then I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session with the inclusion of the mayor, fire chief, treasurer, clerk, and city attorney. Before I finish that list, is there anyone here from the Vermont Department of Transportation or the airport that needs to be included? And Scott Magnan from the fire department as well. Thank you. He's hiding back here in the corner behind me. Thank you.
Second.
All right. All in favor of the motion to go into executive session?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.